Hello, everyone, and welcome to this IEEE Young Professionals webinar. Today, we have a very special webinar on Humans of IEEE, Every Story Matters. And it's given by Sarang, which is in fact the founder of Humans of IEEE, and he's going to be talking to us today about what he's started, what seems to be an interesting program he's doing for us here. So just a quick introduction. I'm Matthew Carius. I'm the webinar specialist for the MGA Young Professionals. I'm also the vice chair for the communications and marketing for the Young Professionals Global Committee. Just in case you haven't known, we've been hosting webinars for almost 2 years now, since 2014, on a variety of topics ranging from effective communication to leadership and some technical topics as well. And just in terms of audience participation, please, during the webinar, type any questions you have into the question box below, and then I'll relay those questions back to our speaker today, Sarang. All questions will be answered following the webinar during a 5-minute Q&A session. Before we get started for the webinar, we actually have a lot of free meetup events at global conferences, which we are in fact promoting through our new Young Professionals program. So we're actually promoting free meetup global conferences all around the world in each region around the world for our young professionals to attend. So, you know, we have South by Southwest in Region 5, we have CapCon in Honduras in Region 9, we have IEEE TechCon in Macau this coming November. So this is one of the programs we're going to be coming forward in this year, and of course next year, in which we can actually have a young professionals presence at these worldwide conferences in each of the regions around the world. So stay tuned for that, and just be aware that we are promoting these free meetup events at global conferences. Connect with our young professionals online. We're on social media, Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube. We have almost over 100 videos on our YouTube account, so please connect and follow us online. We also have new career-based services, which I'll be talking about at the end of the webinar. So today's webinar is on Humans of IEEE, Every Story Matters, and the speaker is in fact the founder of Humans of IEEE, Sarang, and he's a telecommunication engineer from Karachi, Pakistan. He has been serving the Karachi section as secretary and treasurer over the last couple of years. He's also served as a SAC chair. And just a little intro into his webinar will be based on the Humans of New York, the Pioneer project that actually started a couple of years ago, and he's kind of based it on that. So without further ado, please, Sarang, take it away. I'm looking forward to a great webinar.
Okay, well, Matthew, thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to talk about Humans of IEEE. I greatly appreciate the introduction and the opportunity, really. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to talk to you for the Humans of IEEE. My name is Sarang Shaikh, and I'm the founder and the administration for Humans of IEEE. And the question is, what is Humans of IEEE? So yeah, Humans of IEEE is a photo blog. It's a photo blog. Can you just full screen? Okay. IEEE is a photo blog to share the success stories and IEEE stories of IEEE volunteers, members, and staff members. So basically, in a very simple sense, it's a Facebook page. And if you go to the Facebook and if you write on the search box HOIEEE, you would see, you would see this kind of Facebook page. Now, my mantra is everybody has got a story to tell. Because I believe that if a person is joining IEEE, then there must be some story behind that, which in fact is the motivating factor for him or her to keep continuing with IEEE. So I believe that there is a story, because without a story, life cannot move on. For that, I was really curious to know and to post different stories of different IEEE members from all over the world. So I thought of a medium to give them the chance and opportunity to post their stories. So that is why I founded the Humans of IEEE. It's just a little slide defining the Humans of IEEE statistics for this year. So if you see, I have profiled 88 stories from 52 different countries. Since we were previously we were scheduled, we were planning to schedule this webinar on 24th June. So I didn't get the time to review these slides. So you might see some little bit old factors. So it's now 91, not 88 from 53 countries. Yeah, that's the fact that 100 plus stories have been featured. Page followers are 5,000 from 58 different countries. And the highest post reach just 2 weeks ago, it was 12,000. And now it's more than 18,000. So you can figure it out that it's getting success day by day. The questions come, it's not just a human, it is some humans that have contributed for Humans Right to Play and that have led the team, that have led the initiative is now. So I'm going to see some humans, and I thought maybe it would look better to show them the original pictures. If you can see, there are 10 pupils whom I'm really in depth and whom I really should be giving credit, because without them, I guess Humans Right to Play wouldn't have been where it is. Mr. Asan Swaid from Pakistan. He's a really good friend to me, and he has been with the initiative since its first starting days. So I share everything with Humans Right to Play. Mr. Ali Ashraf, you would see a cover photo of Humans Right to Play, which says eat, sleep, repeat, and I to play. And if you just go to the Humans Right to Play Facebook page, you will see creative graphics. That is, this man is a designer, and basically this is his ideas for all the graphics. But ready to start with, I just met him online on social media maybe 8 months ago, 9 months ago. But after that, he has been a really great contribution to the Humans Right to Play. Mr. Farooq Jamal, again a very good friend and advocate for Humans Right to Play. Mr. Jose Onira, please apologize me if I spell your name wrong. He's from Brazil, and he has been a really great contribution to Humans Right to Play, connecting me with the Vision 9. Because since I'm from Vision 10, so I do not know many people from Vision 9, but he has been a really great contribution connecting me with the people from Vision 9 who are asking their stories to be exposed on the page. And of course, yeah, ma'am, Karen Bartelston, she is like a mentor to the page. She defines and suggests, her suggestions are really much valuable for the page every time. And before I tell you about the two guys, there's one more, Khalid Mukhtar from Egypt. Much of the ideas that you see on the page are from this guy. He's like the idea machine. He gives many ideas on what to do and what would look better if I just introduce on the page. And Petra from Lebanon, I just asked her, the Hamza please getting 1 year older, so can you just make a very wishing good video? So she made a video with her colleagues on Hamza Play. I'll be posting that video very soon, maybe tomorrow on the page, and you will love it. And the two guys who in fact are with me right now is Kaminga and Subodh. So they have been really good contribution to Hamza Play from since the starting month up till now. So I just wanted to give the credit to these people because it's just not only me, but these are the guys who are somehow behind the page. The thing is, Humans IEEE have posted volunteers, staff members, profiles on 52 countries globally up till now. And there is this small world map. So the blue portions are those countries and those regions of world from which I have posted stories. The white areas that you could see are those regions of the world or those countries, on the world which I haven't still have touched, or I'm looking for the stories to hear from those areas. I just made a small kind of graphic, and this tells, this defines the starting and the profiles I posted, how I started, what was the first profile, what was the approach, how I approached was the other vision. If you could see, there's a huge circle, and there are some circles inside them. There's a green one. There's a person who has some mustaches and a little bit bald. So that is when I founded the page. I thought maybe start from my own section, that is Karachi section, Pakistan. So my section chair looks somehow similar to this guy with the mustaches. So I went to the sir and I asked him for the story. So the first profile on the page was the section chair of Karachi, Pakistan. This is how I started the page. Later on, if you could see, there's a white circle, and the white circle is the region 10, Asia Pacific. So if you could see, there are people from India and from Sri Lanka. At least region 10 somehow look like these people. After that, there is the third circle. The third one is not exactly the full region 8, but the people from Middle East. So yeah, if you can see, the Khalid is over there and some other guys. So I started this page with Pakistan, then it moved to region 10, then I approached Middle East, and then it moved towards Europe, which is the blue part in the circle. So yeah, you can see a French guy with the French mustaches. Yeah, I approached France and other countries in Europe. But somehow I got completed the region at 2. Later on, and which is still in process, I approached region 1 to region 6 and region 7. So on the page, like as I said, there are 91 stories already profiled. So I'm not sure, but around like 80% of them would be from region 8, region 9, and region 10. Only 20% or 15% would be from region 1 to 6, and that is where I'm getting worried. Maybe people from region 1 to region 7 do not know about this initiative, and I'm making all the efforts to let them know about this great humans with activity, because this gives you opportunity to share you as a story with the IEEE community. Let's talk about highly reachable profiles. By the way, I haven't revealed these statistics before, and I thought to reveal and give out them people to the IEEE community, or to the people who follow Humans with IEEE page with this webinar. If you could see, there is one profile, Sattar Satkan from Iraq, who has the highest profile, which is 12,000. And as I said, I didn't get the time to renew those slides. So just in a very little time, like 1 week or 10 days, I posted one profile from Mr. Ravindra Bojwani, who is also from Pakistan, staying in USA. Ultimately, his profile got completed Pakistan 7,500, but of course I would complete. So if you could see, there's Mr. Rama Khalid 7,000. If you could see the list with 10 members, the story of the journey story of Humans IEEE from its very beginning to where I'm right now. So I just made a small kind of infographic which will begin from the starting of this page up till now. So yeah, last year, 11th of July 2014, I guess before that, 1 week or 2 week, I got this idea to make a Facebook page because I knew that there are IEEE members, more than 400,000 members all around the world, as we all know about it. But the question was, how IEEE works in other part of the world. There has to be a story. We work at our region. We do not exactly know in the other parts of the region how are the activities, how are the members, what are those activities, how they got the motivation. So behind everything, there has to be a story, and I was really curious to explore all those stories, and not only explore but post them on the page so that other could get benefit from them. So I got the idea to start something to personalize IEEE. Yeah, that is where I somehow realized that I have to personalize IEEE, like get the personal stories of IEEE members, volunteers, and staff members. But the question was still how. I got this idea, but I was really, afraid and not so much convinced that how would I be been able to do that. And that is where I just thought maybe to start very small. Maybe let's just open up a Facebook page and start a photo blog on Facebook. And that is where I started the photo blog, the Humans IEEE page, in simple words, on 11th of July 2014. So yeah, it's 13th of July right now. So it's like 2 days ago, Humans IEEE got 1 year older. But the question was, I was really discouraged because I was really afraid that how would I be able to do that? And it transformed into a huge likable and very appreciable Facebook page on the whole world. And that is where I found some supporters where I found some supporters where I had never shared with them before. It was in its initial phases, it was getting discouragement, and it was in its trial phase, but it became really viral in 2015. I received messages, emails, and appreciations from many people, and I posted like 100 plus stories, 85 profiles from different countries, which is like now 91. Number has been changed to 91. And somehow I got a hold to publish a little story on the working of Facebook page, on the very prestige IEEE Institute, that is the official blog of IEEE, and again the IEEE Gold Rush, which is the only official publication of young professionals. So yeah, the story was featured on these two blogs, and that is where, if you ask now, I'm giving a webinar in front of you in the Young Professional Global Session series. Please forgive me because it's a bit old, as previously it was already scheduled to be on 24th June. So yeah, it's 13th July. And if you can see at the end, you would see a money symbol with a search box. That is where I'm searching for some funds to make it more big, because you need some seed funds to initiate some more advanced things for the project. Okay. Yeah, that is where I was talking about. So these are the snapshots of those both articles which got featured in the Gold Rush and the Article Institute. So maybe I can, like, if you need those articles, if you want to read those articles and those Article Institute and Gold Rush, the better thing is you can just search it out on a Google, Humans of IEEE on Gold Rush. You would find the link, and Humans of IEEE Institute. So these both articles were published and features on Humans of IEEE. Let's just talk a little bit about the future goals of Humans of IEEE, because there's the other people ask to me, but somehow I ask myself every time, what's next? So there are some things which are in the pipeline of process, and I am somehow working on them to make them initiable. There's one future project which is monthly newsletters, because along with the Facebook page, I really wanted to generate a monthly newsletter series. And like in the previous month, how many profiles were featured, and what were the comments, what were the what was the reach of the profiles. So I really wanted to start the monthly newsletter, but I somehow doubt that I would require some time to plan and process and initiate it. But yeah, you can say that it's in pipeline. Maybe in 2016 you would get to see that was at. I really want to start a podcast really really valuable, and it should not be only in the written form. It should be communicated orally by an oral means. So a podcast series would give enough time for people who not like to write but like to speak. So maybe they could come to an audio session and speak about the experience, and maybe people can ask question, can ask question again. This is where I'm also doubting, uh, because I'm gonna need some external support, or maybe some guidelines on how to start a podcast series on this platform. Before I come to fundraising, let me just tell you more about the web page. I believe after getting 1 year old, Atomy should have a one web page, not exactly the whole website, but at least a web page, one home page, where a new person who doesn't know about Humans of IEEE, where if you could go to this web page, you would see all those profiles and all those links to those IEEE Institute blog and other things. So that is where I can guarantee you that there would be a web page soon, very soon. For the third thing, fundraising. I don't know. I know that IEEE has policy. You can't fundraise with the name of IEEE, but somehow I'm figuring out a solution or a middle way where I can fundraise for people for new projects via Humans of IEEE medium. Because some months ago, I found a very interesting story by this Iraqi guy, Dr. Sattar Sadkan, and his story was really inspirational, and a story that was really different. So I was planning to somehow invite him to a regional congress, so that he could share his story to everyone, and tell them that only their life is not that much hard, and he is facing some sincere issues. Somehow I didn't I wasn't that much able to generate some funds for his chapel. That is where I realized that maybe if we have the support of IEEE community, maybe we could fundraise for such cases, which really need a stage, which are really in need of funds to transfer their vision, their stories to IEEE member. I'm really doubtful about that, because I know that IEEE has restrictions about the fundraising, but I'm considering this option. At least I can say, yeah, that I'm considering this option to explore more. But If you just ask me, yeah, the monthly newsletter and the web page would be live soon. Very soon you would also see the podcast series. But I'm gonna request to you all, to the all listeners, if you could suggest me how we could, get over with this fundraising thing. Is there any solution? Is there any avenue that is still unexplored that maybe I couldn't know about it? So please just let me know about it. The question is how to get yourself posted on Humans Play. Well, just really just simple. You just have to take your laptop or a notepad. You just have to write your IEEE story, and you have to email us. Well, maybe inbox on Facebook. The Facebook address is very simple. Go to Facebook, write Humans IEEE or HYIEEE. You would see the page. You can just inbox us the whole story. Because previously some people have inboxed the story on Facebook page, and I featured them on the Facebook page. I frequently check all those messages that I receive on the Facebook Humans IEEE page. Or maybe you can send an email on humansIEEE@gmail.com. These are the two ways that you can get yourself posted on Humans IEEE. Well, thanks for listening. I hope that this session, this webinar was fruitful to you, because I was planning for it like for 3 or 4 months time, and at the end I really appreciate and I really want to give credit to Mr. Matthew Arias for giving me this opportunity to share the stories, or you could say the story of human behind the human strategy. So I'm opening up the floor for some questions. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask me right now. Yeah, over to you, Matthew.
Thanks, Ryan, for a really good talk.
My pleasure.
I'm going to start off a question with you kind of put out a call to action on fundraising. You need funds. So maybe make it a little bit more clear on what the funds are going to be used for, like directly. Sarang, you still there?
Yeah, Matthew, could you repeat, please?
So you kind of set out this call to action on different ways you can fundraise. Maybe you should make it more clear on what the money you're seeking is going to be used for more specifically.
Yeah, okay. Well, as I already informed, and shared a little bit, that I'm really doubting this option, but still I just want to consider possible solutions for that. Because I somehow believe that there are projects. I agree with that. That IEEE has more avenues and more mediums where people, not only just people, but the people with projects and initiatives can seek for funds. But what don't you think that IEEE should have its own medium for fundraising, like the other websites they have? Because this is where IEEE contribute a little bit, which is still contributing much more than this thing. But this is where I'm considering, and as I already told, I'm really doubting this option. I really need feedback from all of you.
Okay, so I guess I was a bit confused. So you want it just like you want to develop an entire fundraising platform for IEEE, not just using the funds to fund this specific program. Is that what it
Yeah,
is?
yeah, exactly.
Okay. So I think that's an excellent idea to actually have a fundraising platform based on what you've done here with Humans of IEEE, which is actually an excellent idea. We have another question coming in. Why did you decide to do a Facebook approach as opposed to a Facebook and a website at the same time? Kind of what Eddie, the editor-in-chief of Gold Rush, does. He kind of posts on Facebook, and then he also has the website. Why did you decide just to do a Facebook platform only?
Well, the thing is, as I told, I got this idea, and the idea was not just to make a Facebook page. The idea was somehow create a medium or something that is personalized IEEE. So at the starting, I was really doubtful on how to start this thing. The Facebook page idea was pretty much easy, so I thought let's just start easy, and maybe when we move on, we would see, at least I would see how people react to it. What's the feedback? Because I was little bit doubtful about that because we already
Right.
have much greater Facebook pages with much more followers and things like that. So I started very easy with the Facebook page, but right now, looking at the very appreciable feedback from all those support from all those people, actually community. Now I'm thinking of making at least a web page where there are much more things like these two articles. There are some stories which are much more valuable. So a web page would be a one-stop for everyone to just go on and you know have a look at everything which is relatively done so far.
Perfect. That's actually a very good approach. Start simple and then grow into a web page that actually can have different articles and everything. That's actually a very good approach. We actually have a suggestion coming in off of our IEEE TV page from Arslan in Saudi Arabia. They're suggesting to take somebody for interview for Humans of IEEE. Well, you've outlined it. You've outlined it to be very simple in terms of how to be added to Humans of IEEE. So I'm just going to relay for all of our viewers. If you know somebody that should be featured on Sarang's platform of Humans of IEEE, it's just as simple as sending an email or sending in a Facebook message
Yeah,
right directly on the page. And I think that's an excellent approach. Thanks, Sarang. You made it very easy for anyone to become a human of IEEE.
yes, exactly.
So we have one more
Yeah,
question
definitely.
coming in.
See, if
Yeah, we have.
you feel difficult, go email on the mentioned email address. Yeah, go on. Please
Yo,
keep
yeah, we
continue,
just,
Matthew.
yeah, we have one question coming from Karen from the United States. Nice webinar. From a young professional's perspective, what do you need from the leaders of IEEE, such as the president and board of directors? Good luck to you. So, what would you need from a young professional's perspective from the leaders of IEEE?
Could you repeat the question? I just somehow, there
Um,
was a network fault. I didn't understand the whole.
from a young professional's perspective, what do you need from the leaders of IEEE, such as the president and board of directors?
Well, I need some support that, that's exactly my dream. That was my dream, which I'm pursuing right now as a Facebook page. I just wanted to tell IEEE stories to everyone, so that they just can't be, you know, before this page, people from region 10 would have, would have known the stories from other regions. They would have known that what other regions are doing. From this page, I just wanted to IEEE make it more visible that there's one person at Iraq which is doing work, great
Yes.
work for IEEE, even at conditions. So, if you ask me, what are my expectations from IEEE USA or board directors is I'm considering one more option, which I recently met, one of the IEEE USA person. Maybe I'm just expecting that this page or this movement should be, you know, at least not a big more a more bigger than not just only Facebook page, but at least more bigger than that. As I say, the future plans, podcast series, monthly newsletters, it would not just be a Facebook page. I'm expecting the IEEE USA, or to be specific from the president, that if they could help me in initiating a podcast series, a monthly newsletter series, and the web page. So those two starting things, which is the monthly newsletter and the podcast series, would be a valuable asset to this page. Why? Because right now, just people just write their story, give the attach a picture, and the story is featured. But then it would be podcast. It would be live. People would be live. People would be asking questions as of now they are asking. So it will be more convenient. It will be more feasible and more reachable and valuable.
Yeah, so I guess maybe more support from the leaders of IEEE. I think the first and foremost is maybe becoming having the leaders of IEEE becoming aware that such a thing exists, and from that it kind of expanded to outside of where you've been focused. Like you mentioned, you want more exposure in regions 1 to 7. So I think the leaders of IEEE can probably help you a lot with that. Just as an example, which is a very good point. We actually have one more question. I think this will be the last question from Murtaza from Pakistan. Is there a criteria to be a human of IEEE? I think you touched on this a little bit. Is there a criteria to be a human of IEEE?
Yes, definitely. Yeah, you can't be just complacent on one thing. Hello?
Yeah, Sarang. Yeah. So did you get that last question on what the criteria was? I don't think we've heard the answer.
No, I just couldn't been able to understand. Could you please repeat?
The question is there any criteria to become a human of IEEE?
Okay, so that's where I'm a little bit confused. Why? Because my personal belief, a lot of guys, lot of junior guys come and meet me and they ask one very simple questions that we are members for like 2 years, we haven't achieved anything big, we have not got any award. So can we still write our IEEE story and can get featured on the page? I said, yeah, you can. Why? Because award is not an achievement, and initiating projects is not achievement. You are an IEEE member. That's the biggest achievement. So if you are an IEEE member, I will not ask you to like mention that you have won this award, you have been doing this thing. You are an IEEE member, so you have an IEEE story, and that's it. That's the only requirement. You have to be an IEEE member with the IEEE story. And if you are not, I even welcome you to send your IEEE, to send your story. Kind of. If you don't know more about IEEE, you can write the story in a sense that you have seen some people doing work for IEEE and you are very curious to know more about, because if you just see on the page, there are at least 2 or 3 profiles from the people who are not IEEE members, who even don't know even the abbreviation of IEEE. Inspired me, and I thought it's the best way. I know very little about IEEE, so I thought it's the best way to post their questions more about the story on the page. And that is where they not only got answers, but they got connection. They built the connection with volunteers from their regions. As of from last month, there was one Indian volunteer, volunteer 3rd year student maybe from India. He contacted me that I do not know about IEEE and could you help me to get understand how IEEE work. So I just asked him to like write a little introduction about yourself and the things that are bothering you about IEEE. I will post them on the page. So I posted on the page. He got all the answers, and the senior volunteers on the India, they got to see him. Now they've involved him in other activities. So in this way, the page is also working to connect those junior volunteers to the senior guys and to the guys who are kind of stakeholders in the regions.
Perfect.
I
I think
hope.
yeah, that was actually the last question we got in. I'm just gonna wrap things up here. Thank you, Sarang, for an excellent presentation on what you've created here. It really is truly remarkable. I just have some concluding slides to finish off the webinar. Please complete our feedback survey we're going to be sending out to all the registrants. It really helps us in terms of organizing our next webinars. There's also going to be a YouTube link that we send out to everyone to actually post this webinar. It automatically gets posted to our YouTube page. Please join us for our next Young Professionals webinar on July 27th at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. It's on the introduction to robotics from Gopilar Stran in India. So please join us for that webinar. Please check out our 2 career-based services, the Mentor Center, in which we connect mentors and mentees from different types of electrical engineering across the world. And also please join our resume lab, in which we actually have resume tips and interview tips available for free for all of our young professional webinar. If you have any tips or suggestions for presenting a webinar, or maybe some topics, please always send us an email. And from that, I'd like to end with one of our young professional slogans: empowering earlier career development, which is in fact what we strive here to do. And with that, I'm going to thank Sarang again, and I hope to see you guys at our next webinar. Thank you.